Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Hey friends, how you doing? Sorry, I'm on a tangent for a moment. Sorry, had a total tangent. Anyway, okay, Happy New Year. Oh my goodness. Here we go. Okay, we're doing a crafting thing. Alrighty. So, I'm totally in a mind blank. So someone commented on a post I made earlier. I'm like, oh yeah, that's what that was about. Yeah, alright. Alright, so Happy New Year, since I'm so totally scattered tonight, but that's okay. So we're making a desk calendar. So these frames, they sit up pretty nicely. This is an older one, and this is the cheapy one. So there's a story behind these buggers. I got these frames free from my workplace a good year or so ago. And what's interesting is she didn't like them. These are actually the cheap ones, and they hated them. So I just took the frames and made my own calendars out of them. And then, so here we go. So, we're doing a new version of this. I'm going to actually make notes so I can essentially do more with it. Alright, so I'm just going to put some stuff moved around because I'm totally disorganized, as usual. I spent way too long trying to figure out what I'm doing. And I pulled out a whole bunch of decorative papers, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. Alright, so I need to get some quick measurements. So that was... That was 5 1/4 by 1 1/4. And then 5 1/4 by, say, 3 1/2. If I'm reading that right. It might be a hair under, but that's okay. And then I gotta figure out, so I'm gonna change up these. That's what I was just measuring off camera. That's 5 1/4 by 1 1/4, and then 5 1/4 by 3 1/2, approximately. Maybe slightly skinny, just to see. And of course, all my technical issues starts happening, but at least my camera's still going. All right. Gotta love technical issues, eh? All right, so we're gonna keep going here. Now, all my stuff's getting all technical. It's because I kept touching a whole bunch of paper. All right, I'm gonna have to reboot my hub because it's being a pesty pest. Pesty pest. And of course, my lamp is right up against it, which is not happy. Okay, let's try this again. Alrighty. And of course, this had a bit of a whack earlier as I was getting organized. Alright, so because I have a dark blue frame, I haven't decided what my paper is tonight. So I've grabbed a whole bunch of different papers. And I think I'm just going to zone in on what speaks to me, which was the planets. Because I think that's the one that's calling to me. But I want the purple. And I ordered more of this paper anyway, so it's all good. I think this, I just put the frame somewhere, is going to look really good. I'm going to go with that. Oh, and I forgot to get the one last measurement of the strip. That goes across. Because last time I made 2 of these. I had one as a trial, and I took it to work. And that is a 1/2 inch by... I'll figure out the length as we go. So I kind of got that going. So at least I know what that plan is. But in the meantime, I gotta work on the calendars themselves. I've got them printed. I love how I have no idea where I put them. They're under here. I am so disastrous. Okay, so what I gotta get a good measurement is I gotta get these cut up. So if you know half of 8 1/2 inches, if you know your math well, that should be 4 1/4. So let's try that and see how these divide. When I get the right blade. Okay. So there they are. Now what's interesting is one side's skinnier than the other, so we're going to work with that a little bit. So then what I'm going to do is, let's try at 4 inches. Yeah, I think 4 inches will do. So then same with this bugger. Okay, that should, they're not great, but they're not horrible. All right. So let's at least get those cut. So we got January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. Okay, so let's get one set going here. But since that perfect center is not so perfect, I'm just going to skew it a little, and I hope that works. Okay, that's slightly better, but not so better. I'll get there. It's not the greatest, but could be worse. Alright. And this is just white cardstock that I had. Other white cardstock. Let me clarify. Okay, so you're all going to get confused at me. Alright. So we got that. And then the last month of December. So I'm just going to cut a batch off. And then I'm just going to fix as we go to what my size actually is. That way I'm not being too wasteful here. And I've got another set in case I want to do more later. Okay, so we got those in play. Kind of. I gotta do more cutting, but we'll work on that. What I gotta work on is, yeah, it's more or less good, is the height. So on this frame, it needs to be no more than 3.5 inches. So 3.5 skinny. Okay. So let's figure this out. What is this divided by 3? Actually, we'll do it on one of these. So 11 inches divided by 3. Anybody know the answer? Once again, my calculator. 3.66666666. Yeah, okay, that's not going to help me. Okay. Let's try. So I'm just trying to think how to cut this. So let's just take off the bottom. There we go. Okay, I got part of a plan going here. Because what I'm using is the lettering lined up just to the bottom, which is actually quite effective right now. And if you're interested in this calendar just as a PDF printout, I can provide that because I actually made this in Canva, which is cool. So this may not be perfect because I think some of this got a little bit mucked up in printing, but I think it'll be pretty darn good. Okay, then keep going. Then I gotta shorten the height of them soon, but once I get that figured out, get a baseline of what's my height on these cards. Okay, I got that. And then the December one. Alright, so we got those. So let's see if any of these are super, super short. Yes, some are. Okay. So that is the shortest one, hypothetically. And that would work very well. So they need to be no taller than 3 1/4 to make this work. So more cutting. Yeah, it's not a perfect science. Still trying to figure it all out. Okay, that one's perfect size. Just realized because some of them were super on the short side. So I gotta write this down shortly, what the sizing is. That one should be 3 1/4. Almost there. I know it's a lot of prep. You know, I could have done this ahead of time. But it's all good. But yeah, so getting this down to 3 1/4 for its height. Okay, we're more or less there. All right. Okay. So now it would be a good idea to put these in actual order. So the cards, 3 1/4 by 4. That way I know what they represent. So June, July, August, December. We got March, April, May, January, February, August, September, October, and then November. So I just got to double check all these. So January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Okay. So I've got these. And I love how I actually got plenty of space on the top versus I was limited with the original design. The original design I did like in Excel. I didn't like it, to be honest. So lots to improve on. Alrighty. So what I'm going to do is making a perforated line, I think it's called. So I have a different cutting board for that because my existing one doesn't quite do that so well. So I've got this oldie that I've had for a long time. And this works really, really well. And I gotta remember which blade is it. It's the purple blade. So I'm just gonna turn it. Trying to remember how I can do this. Because I want to be able to see what I'm doing. I'll turn it sideways and give it a whirl. Alright, so let's see if I can figure this out with the way this is configured. Because this is a totally different board. Alright, let's see here. Could always do a test on here. Oh, I see. Okay, I see. Can't see on the camera. Now I know. So from the cut, and there's the 1 inch, there's my 1/2 inch. So that should work. Well, let's do it on the tester here. So then bring this over and then push down. Maybe not too hard. And there is my fold line. I don't know how well you can see it, but it is there. So it does work. So maybe not too much pressure. All right. Okay, I got one, barely done. Okay, I need to get good pressure on this thing. I have not used this in a long time. There we go. Got one, mostly good. So literally one at a time. This one's got a little bit of a fold in it, so I'm just, because of the way my printer mucked it up slightly, drop that down. Of course it moved a little, but that's okay. That's 2. I know it all looks time consuming, but I think it's really cool. Okay, I gotta redo that one. Alright, here we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Yeah, we're getting there. Alright. I just try not to give way too much pressure because it just might rip the paper. That's why I am using regular big box store cardstock for this. That way, should be able to hold up pretty good, and if it gets ruined, that's okay. Alright, let's keep going and going and going. Oh, that one moved a little. Oh, I got most of that one. Oh my goodness. There we go. And December. There we go. We got it. Okay, so now this board is done. This is going to go back into retirement for another year. Alright, so I've got all those made. Now we can get to some paper cutting, some more of the beautiful planets. But yeah, that should do. Because that way, after each month, I can tear them out easily. Alright, so then next. So let's get 5.5 inches cut already. And I want like the big, I'll go the other side. I want the big plants, but you're not going to see them anyway. 5.5 or 5 1/4? 5 1/4. That's why I write down the measurements. Alright, so the first piece, because I wanted to kind of carry through. First piece is 1 1/4. There we go. And that should do the front. Let's double check. Yes. There we go. That's going to look really, really good. And then the next size is 3.5 inches, but slightly on the skinny side. So I'm just going to go one little under. There we go. And then we're going to need a strip of the paper. Probably just the same size. Ooh, I just got an idea. But no, I mean, I could have continued on. Oh, I could have continued on. No, it's okay. It's okay. So then we'll just do that, and that should do. Alrighty. So then, let's start assembling. I think it's going to look better than last time. Because last time I just used some other paper. I didn't use the official stuff. But I think it's going to look a lot better. So I'm just going to rip this off. Actually, I'm also going to get my Stampin' Seal Plus ready. Because that's the one I would have used. That way it more or less held down pretty good for a year. And I should fix the back of it because actually it's not too bad. It's holding on pretty good. Alright, so rip. And then we'll end up seeing where I got these from. Because, yeah, they were just throwing these out, and I'm like, I'll take them. There we go. So that is progressed. So first things first, let's glue. I want my direction for a reason. Let's get some good amount of seal on it this year. Maybe a little more generous. Alright, so then let's put that on. Oh, that looks much nicer this time. And let's get some good seal on this bit. Because also that way it'll hold up quite well, hopefully. Okay, I'm loving it already. I seriously am. Oh my goodness. Alright, so the next up is take these and one at a time, gonna put them together. But I'm gonna do the bundles separately and then we'll put the final on. So that way we can have this to wrap around kind of thing. Alright, but I just want to get an idea of the sizing. Alright, so then backwards for our months, one at a time. So on top of the existing one, I'm just going to put seal right across, and then one by one, keep laying them on. Hopefully as neatly as I can get. And then just kind of keep going. Just trying to get the bottom kind of leveled out before I glue it down. Doesn't have to be like totally perfect, but just enough that it glues on well. So that was October, November, December. I should double check as I go that I'm layering these properly. So yeah. And try to stay within that half-inch line, that with the adhesive, because that's what makes a world of difference. And yeah, I'm not even paying attention to the months. July, August, September, October. I'm not even paying attention. Oh my goodness. So I do have plans to make more calendars because, hey, I just love this idea, this DIY type project where I'm taking, again, recycled materials to a point where the frame was going to go in the garbage and then make my own calendars. And I love how I customize these to even have my website on here, my Stampin' Up! Website, which I think is really cool. And then the last month, oh, I just got some of the table. As I stick it to myself. Alright, so then lastly, this strip is just going to go on and around just to kind of create a little border. So I'm going to put all the adhesive on the strip. Because it's going to need it. Alright, and then that way just to kind of hide it, but not. That way that perforated line is still visible just underneath it. And then on each side, fold. And fold. That way I've made a little booklet here. And then this is going to go on to my calendar. And I love it. Oh my god, I love it. I was going to stamp something, but I'm not. This is just great the way it is. Oh my goodness. So then on the back of this time I'm just going to put it all on that section. And I'm going to get more on the other side here too because I didn't quite get it yet. And that should, once I position it well, there we go. There is my desk calendar for 2024. I love it. I love it better than last year's. So I'm just going to open it up. And there we go. There is a nice little desk calendar that I absolutely love. There we go. Isn't that cool? Like, isn't that just awesome? I love it. I love it. I love it. And then each month, whoops, as I'm getting paper stuck to me, just tear off the sheet that I need. And there we go. Yeah, each month. Tear. That is awesome. All right. I want to make another one. However, I'm not going to get too deep into it tonight because of time and all. Because it took me a half hour just to prep one. But more or less, I just want to show, because I have another frame that I retrieved that they were pitching out. And this one's a little more durable and much, much better to use. So this one opens it up and that gets flipped on this side. Close it up, and then there we go. That's the normal frames that they get. So I'm thinking of doing something with this guy to work out a concept where this gets covered, etc., etc. And I think that would be really cool, but something to complement the red. So I'll have to, and then once done, just pack it up. So I gotta find a paper to complement the red. This one's mine. This one I'm keeping. This one I'm taking with me to work because I absolutely love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. So that's so cool. The only thing difference is I would do something with the white space, but that's something I gotta work out in Canva. Because I did a template in Canva and I just printed it to do 6 per sheet. That way I can get this tiny little size. But yeah. Alright. So with that being in the mind, I want to do a quick browse at what's going to go with the red. And I'm just going to do I don't have a recycle bag out. Of course, one of those nights where I don't have anything ready. Alright, so I'm just going to get a little more organized here. Bear with me a few minutes. So definitely not the space paper, even though it would look cool, but no, like I need something to complement the red. So we're going to do a quick scroll through some of these papers. So I'm thinking of gifting it to someone who really wanted to do one of these. Now she loves birds, but this paper just isn't doing me. No, it's not doing me. I mean, it's nice, but needs something to go with the boldness. Oh, that's beautiful paper right there. Of that red. Just trying to get this back into its sleeve. Alright, so definitely not that paper. But I just, because the person wants this frame, not the blue, because they didn't like the blue one. Oh, it's like, oh, okay. So this paper, again, I need something bold. Ooh, ooh. Zoo Crew. Oh, that might look really, really good. Might be a little bit contrasty, but no, I'm gonna go with Zoo Crew. I am. Alright, so Zoo Crew it is. So, I gotta figure. So it's a little different with Zoo Crew. I gotta come up with some custom measurements here. So, okay. Red frame. Top. Small strip. Bottom. Alright, let's get the measurements out. So I gotta figure out what this represents. So overall, let's go this way. That is 6 inches. So I would say 5, 3/4 by that shows 1 1/4. I'll say 1 1.5. For some reason I can't write right now. Then so as we go 5 and 3 1/4, 5, 3 1/4. So that strip is 3/4. So I go 1/2 inch, and then for that area I go 3 1/4 Alright, so let's get this going, because I want to get this partially made. I still have to finesse it with the pocket, because it's a little different, but that is doable. Alright, so we got some nice papers here. So let's cut 5. What size is this anyway? Is this going to be good for what I need? Yes, it is actually. So 5 3/4. There we go. And there is 3.5. So let's just bring it to 3 1/4. So let's see how that looks, and then we'll get a look in a moment. And then for this, we're gonna do 1 1/2. That way we got part of an image here happening. So at least one of those guys are not going to be cut off. There. And then well, let's see how it looks, because it's not going to be a complete picture, eh? And I just wrote 5 3/4. It's a little much. So let's go 5 1/2. That's where we just keep finessing. There we go. So 5 1/2, 5 1/2, 5 1/2. I can't even write. I think I'm going to reverse some of the pieces. So that one, let's go 5 1/2. There we go. And just to swap it up, that 1/2 inch will be the other side of the paper, just to change it up. There we go. So let's glue these down. And what I like about this is it kind of opens up the possibility to color these as well. Is also the intention, is why I'm looking at that paper. So let's get this glued down. And this is directional, friends. There we go. Oh, that just looks cool. And then let's get this strip. Is this the right length? Yes, it is. There we go. Then let's see this piece once we get it on. I think that looks really cute. I might be running out of seal. Again, I go through a lot of it. Okay, it's making sure that slit is available. Yes, it is. There we go. That way I can put a pocket in there. So there is a new frame. And I could decorate more, but I think just that alone gives it a really pretty frame to work with, and I think that is really cute. So then, for giggles here, I'm going to keep going and build this one, because I think it's just absolutely adorable. Although I like mine better, my original one. Alright, so then back to other stuffs here. So I got stuffs and stuffs and stuffs. Oh my goodness, stuffs all overs. Alright, so put some of these pieces in the bag. Alright, and I got extra printouts of calendars, so I'm going to do this all over again. So feel free to stick around or come back later. Alright. And I need this for, I need a big wider piece for a reason, because I gotta make like a booklet out of it, so this shall be different. Alright, so then let's take our months, now that we kind of have a clue what we're doing. Alright, so here we go. And one more. And I even have another set, or a partial set anyway, because my printer kind of half goofed. Alright, so again, I'm just going to cut lower. That way, if I want to salvage that piece, I can. There we go. So then, if you remember, 4 inches. There we go. We're getting there. Okay, so then what I gotta work out from here for a moment is how much length do I have for space from that slit. So I've got 3.5 inches, okay. So 3.25 at max, I'll say, for getting these sizings. So first get the bottoms dealt with before I size them down. Because if you remember, some of these are short anyway, so that works out beautifully. This I'm keeping, I just haven't figured out the size. Because I'm gifting it to someone. My watch is telling me to stand up. But yes, yes, yes. Awesome, awesome. So far good. Alright, so now we got the bottoms cut. Now we gotta get the size of 3.25. I know, it's so time consuming, isn't it? Okay, so that one's good. That one's good. That That one needs a cut. Might as well turn these the other way. Alright, so 3 1/4. That one's good. But yeah, I love. I might actually make a whole batch of these. Maybe I'll actually just make a good batch. I don't know. Like, I love them. And I'm happier with these this year than last year. Much happier with the printing. Of course, my sweater's bugging me. Alright, this we gotta figure out. So I'm gonna go down to there, take that off. Maybe take a little more off as I figure out my size. And then 3 1/4. There we go. And keep going, couple more. That one's good. Alright, then we gotta get the perforated line going. So let's bring back this guy. Get these in the right sequence of the which side I'm scoring. Not so much the calendar sequence. Alright, so here we go with this again. Yeah, give that another quick whirl. There, that's much better. Just didn't feel right. I don't use this often anymore because this is for me retired. I just hang on to it because I've had this since I was a kid, and for whatever reason, I bought that extra blade, made that perforated line, and I just knew it'd be useful. It's like one of those weird hoarder kind of things where you collect things with not really knowing why. And what I'll do is, if somebody comments on this video by next Thursday, I'll make another one of these calendars and ship it to you. How's that? As long as you're reasonably in the capacity I can ship to you. There are limits. Alright, and we're almost there on this part. But wait, there's more. So because that red folder frame is different, I gotta make a different contraption for putting it together. Okay, so those are made. So then, remember our size, 3 1/4 by 4. So 6 flap, so 6.5 by 4. And that's where one of these comes into play. As I make a mess. And I just dropped the old pieces on the floor so my dog can possibly chew it. Dogs. Alrighty. Okay, so I need 6.5 by 4. All right. Okay, put that away again. So then fold that bugger in half. And then these get glued on top. That way, that flap can slide in. And that's the intention with that. All right, so we got that. So then let's put our months in order. So we got December, August, July, June, November, October, September. And we got August, July, June, February, January. There's the cover. We got May, April, March. So let's double check this because I didn't check as I was gluing them, as I'm shuffling them apparently. All right, we got the cover, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. All right, so we're good to go with gluing these onto our nice little flap. All right, so then little butt backwards here, but on the December one, I'm gonna glue on the back side of that strip to get started. All right, so then we'll put this on, try to line it up really well. And then from here on, it gets glued on to the top each month, okay? And so on, as we did earlier. I love these. I wasn't thinking of doing all the steps tonight. I know I sit around, I'm like, I'm not going to do it tonight. And here I am doing it. I love crafting. These are so much fun. And if you want one of these, let me know. I do have frames. I've got some reds. I've got some blues. Let me know. And I can make it happen. I can make a whole whack of these. Or if you want me to just send you the pieces, I can do that too. Or at least the frame and the calendar bit, and you can add your own papers. That is another option. And I'll probably do this again next year in January because I just love this. So if anybody has any of these frames you're going to throw out, I'll take them because these are wonderful for this type of project. Alrighty. So then there we go. Oh my god, I love it. So there is a little booklet of calendar stuff. Now, the back flap, I'm going to open because we're going to do like earlier, put a strip of decorative paper around it to kind of help bind it together. So let's get a strip of something here. Yeah, that'll do. I'm going to use the flip side. That way it's not such a weirdly looking random pattern. It's a 1/2 inch. So on the side I don't want a whole bunch of adhesive. And I'm hoping to get my hands on more of these frames because I freaking love them. Alright, so I've got that. So then, kind of, as it's not sticking to my fingers, kind of sort of evenly lay it on just above their perforated line. And then flip over and fold those tabs in. I kind of got a little bit of glue where it shouldn't be. There we go. And that, then just make sure that folds again for my flap. And let's see if this works. I've never made this style before. This is totally new to me. So there's a pocket. Open it up. Come on, slide her in, and there we go. There is your own desk calendar. Oh my god, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Oh, I love it. I almost want this one too now. I don't know if I would do Zoo Crew again. I think it works, but it definitely needs another paper difference. But that's something that I can easily look into and come up with. But yeah, there we go. That is awesome. I love these. Oh my god, I love these. I love these. Oh my god, that's so cool. So, tell me, which one do you like better? Okay, the space one's really, really cool. But the Zoo Crew is adorable. Anyway, so there we go. That is the calendar. Although this slides. That's what I don't like about it. But I like how this one's more secured and we're good to go. Alright friends, let me know what you think, and thank you for watching. If you're interested in the decorative papers, the space one, Stargazing it's called, and Zoo Crew, they're both still available actually. And also to let you know, today our new mini catalog and Celebration has launched. If you're curious about Celebration paper, I can do a quick peek at it right now. I have some here, because I actually pulled out some trying to plan tonight's project. I thought I did. Yep. I got Softly Stippled, Flight and Airy, and it's just they weren't just doing me. But Flight and Airy, Celebration with birdies, and then Softly Stippled, I love. This could really go with the red too, like, potentially. Like, this is beautiful. Like, this paper, like, that sheet might very well go well, I think, with the red. Anyway. But yeah, very beautiful papers this time around. There's some stamps. They have some dies. They have some other stuff. So yeah, feel free to check out Celebration. And this is just some of the examples of the paper. Because you know what? The new catalog is out. Oh yes, new catalog. And mine's buried away. I'm not pulling it out right now. Alright, but thanks for watching. Seriously, everybody. And, hold on. Strip. 5.5 by 1/2 inch. There, my notes are good for next year. I just gotta make them to a better format and I'm good to go. Alright friends, this time I'm really going. Bye for now.